And today we are going to discuss about the motion of a car along a leveled road. That is when a car moves along a curved level road and in the case of a banked road. So let us see the difference. What difference does it make on the maximum speed with which a car can negotiate a curved path? And how does the frictional force support in this case in the two different cases, and what is the expression for the maximum speed of the car with which a car can negotiate or describe a circular path. So first let us see motion of a car along a level road. So I have shown a curved path in which a car is trying to describe a circular path of radius r. Say suppose the circular path has a radius r, and the weight, what are the different forces acting on the car? The first force is the weight itself, which is acting vertically downward. So W is equal to mg. What is the other force which can happen at this time? It is the normal force or the normal reaction, which is happening perpendicular to the surface of the road, which I have shown it as N, which is vertically upward. And you can also see Fs or F, the frictional force, which tries to keep the car in circular motion. So it always acts along the surface, and it is between the tires and the surface of the road. So it is shown towards the in the horizontal direction towards the inner direction or in the horizontal direction. Okay, so these are the forces acting on the car. Now what we have to do is we have to convert this diagram into a free body diagram, where we can see the car. Instead of the car, I have shown it as a point and the different forces acting on it. So let us see the free body diagram. A free body diagram is a diagram where you represent rather graphically the different forces acting on a body. So the body is shown as a point object here, and the different forces are shown in different direction. The length of the vector will show you the what do you call the magnitude of the vector. So here this is the car. This dot is represented by the car, and the weight W, which is acting downward, and the normal force, which is acting upward, and the frictional force, which is acting in the horizontal direction. Now in order to calculate the maximum speed with which this car can move along the circular path, we have to separately consider the forces acting along the different directions. So, in order to find out the different forces along happening along the vertical direction, let us see N and W are the forces acting along the vertical direction, and we know that there is no acceleration along the vertical direction. How is the car moving? Car is moving along the horizontal direction, so there is no acceleration which is happening along the vertical direction. So we can say that N will be balanced by W, or we can equate N is equal to W or N is equal to mg. So we don't have to consider along any forces, or as there is no acceleration along the vertical direction, we can simply write this expression N is equal to mg. Okay, now next is what we have to consider is the horizontal direction. Along the horizontal direction is the actual acceleration taking place, which is the centripetal acceleration, because this can be considered as a body moving in circular motion. So for any object to be in circular motion, it has to be provided or necessarily been supported by a force which is known as the centripetal force, and the acceleration associated with this body is known as the centripetal acceleration. Now in this case, the frictional force is the only force acting along the horizontal direction, so that frictional force is supposed to be providing the necessary centripetal force which keeps the body in circular path. Okay, so let us see what is the frictional force here, F, or you can also write it as Fs. So we can write Fs. We know the condition, frictional force, the maximum value of frictional force is known as the limiting friction, and it can be less than or equal to mu Sn. The force of friction. So in this case, we always, as we have to find out the maximum speed, we always go with the maximum velocity, maximum frictional force. So we have considered the static friction, And let us write it as Fs less than or equal to mu Sn. So as we are concerned with the maximum speed with which the car has can move around a circular path, let us try to equate it with the maximum or the limiting friction. So let us write it as Fs is equal to mu s n into n. Now we know that n is equal to mg according to this equation, above the above equation. Now this is actually the frictional force provides the necessary centripetal force. So we can write this will be equal to mv square by r, where m is the. So let us write mu s into mg is equal to mv square by r. M gets cancelled, and what you get as an expression for v square is this. Let us write it as v square max, because we are interested in the maximum speed, is equal to mu s into r into g, mu s into r into g, or V max is equal to root of mu s into r into g. So this is the expression for the maximum speed with which a car can move around a circular path, which is a leveled road of radius r, and mu s is the coefficient of static friction, and this is the expression for the maximum speed with which the car can move around a circular path. So we can see that the maximum speed depends upon the coefficient of static friction, which is a constant for a pair of surfaces, and it is also directly proportional to the square root of r, which is the radius of the circle. So let us find out or figure out if we can make any change in this maximum speed when there is any alterations, or when we can modify the engineering of the, we can do something with the engineering of the roads. So that is how we arrive at the idea of banking of roads, which is actually a system or a procedure of raising the outer edge of the road with respect to the inner edge, such that it makes an angle theta with respect to the horizontal direction. So when you raise the outer edge of a road with respect to its inner edge while designing a circular curved path, or when a car has to take a sharp turn or move about a circular path, the maximum speed is actually raised or can be increased from this value. So let us see how it works when we apply the concept of banking of roads. So let us see the motion of a car along a banked road. So our aim is to increase the safe speed with which a car can negotiate or describe a circular path of a given radius and for a given pair of contact surfaces. Let us see if there is any change, or does it get increased when we bank the road. So banking is a system of raising, as I told you, raising the outer edge of a circular path with respect to the inner edge. So it is a common experience that when you see circular paths, it will be banked at a certain angle, that it will be raised with at a particular angle with respect to the horizontal, and this theta angle that it makes with the horizontal, that is the outer edge makes with the horizontal, is known as the angle of banking. So I have shown the free body diagram for this. So this is the car, and let us see the different forces acting on it. So our concern is to raise the maximum safe speed with which the car can move along a banked road. Now here in the earlier case, or in the previous case, on a level road, it was only the frictional force which was supporting the centripetal force, or which was providing the necessary centripetal force for the car to be moving without skidding along a circular path. Now let us see if there is something else to support the frictional force along the horizontal direction, because we know the acceleration on the force is happening along the horizontal direction. So we can see different forces acting on the body, and we call this as a free body diagram. So this is the angle of banking. So this is the outer edge. You can see the inner edge. It is raised with respect to an angle with respect to the horizontal direction at an angle theta. And let us see the different forces acting on the body. The first force, of course, is the weight acting on the body, which doesn't change at all in any of the situation, which is vertically downward. So I have shown it downward. W is equal to mg. Now what about the normal force? Normal force, as the surface gets inclined, the normal force, the peculiarity of normal force is to be always perpendicular to the surface of contact. So this is the surface of contact. It is normal or perpendicular to the surface of contact. So I have shown it by this arrow mark. Now, with respect to the vertical, it makes an angle theta. By geometry, if this is theta, this angle is theta, the surface also gets inclined at an angle theta with respect to the horizontal, with respect to the vertical direction and the horizontal direction. So you can see this as theta and this also as theta. So we can resolve. Now let us apply the concept of resolution of vectors. Let us resolve the vector n and the frictional force F in two different directions. So this is the normal force. Now what about the frictional force? Frictional force again has got the peculiarity of acting tangential to the surface or along the surface. So it is in this direction the frictional force is acting. Now let us resolve n and f in two different directions. Now if this is theta, then this should be n cos theta and this should be n sin theta. What about resolving the frictional force F? Now, as this is theta, then this should be F cos theta and this is F sin theta. Now, when you analyze this diagram, you can easily see that as there is no acceleration along the vertical direction, we are only concerned about the acceleration along the horizontal direction. There is an additional support of the normal component of, or the normal force component of a normal force along the horizontal direction. That is, there is something additional to support the or provide the necessary centripetal force. So of course, when there is more support, because it is the frictional force which always tries to keep the body in circular motion as far as this case is concerned. So there is an additional term coming here. So let us see how it works on this, in this case of the circular path. And of course, now, in order to find out the equation of maximum speed along a banked road, we have to equate the equations, that is the forces which are happening along the vertical direction and horizontal direction separately. So first let us see the forces which are happening along the vertical direction. Now, as we know that there is no acceleration taking place along the vertical direction, so we can say that the forces in that direction is balanced, because we know the motion of the car is along the horizontal direction. So of course the balance, the forces acting along the vertical direction will be balanced. So you can write as there is no acceleration along the vertical direction, along the vertical direction. We can write the equations as, equation of forces as, what are the forces on the vertical direction? You can see n cos theta, which is acting upward. N cos theta is equal to f sin theta plus w, or it is f sin theta plus mg. Now we can actually move this f sin theta onto the left hand side. So only mg remains on the right hand side. So it will be n cos theta minus f sin theta is equal to mg. Okay, so let this be one equation. Now we know that acceleration takes place along the horizontal direction. So you can write acceleration takes place along horizontal direction. What are the forces? Actually, we can see that horizontal direction, so for any object to be in moving in a circular path, it should be fueled by some kind of force which is known as a centripetal force. So here the necessary centripetal force for the car to be in that circular path is provided by the frictional force. But apart from the frictional force, you can see that in the case of leveled circular road, it was only the frictional force acting between the road and the tires. But in this case, there is an additional component. That is the component of frictional force as well as the component of normal reaction adds on, and they provide, and they together provide, support each other to provide the necessary centripetal force. So let us write the equations. F cos theta plus n sin theta in the horizontal direction, what are the forces acting? F cos theta plus N sin theta is equal to mv square by r. Let us name this equation as, or number this as 1 and this as 2. So we have got two equations. Now what we have to do is, as we are interested in the maximum speed, let us substitute F by mu s n and then divide these two equations such that we are dividing the second equation with the first equation. So let us simplify this, divide and then simplify this equation, and let's find out an expression for maximum. Okay, so what we have got after the substitution of f is equal to mu s n and dividing the two equations, we have got n sin theta plus mu s n cos theta divided by n cos theta minus mu s n sin theta is equal to v square by rg. M has got cancelled and we have got a v square by rg. Now we are going to divide the left hand side with n cos theta. Divide throughout with n cos theta only in the LHS. So what you get, n sin theta divided by n cos theta, it will be tan theta, plus mu s n cos theta divided by n cos theta, it will be mu s, divided by n cos theta divided by n cos theta, it will be 1, minus mu s into n sin theta divided by n cos theta, it will be again tan theta. N gets cancelled, and on the right hand side you have v square by rg. Now what we have to find out? We have to find out v square. Now we can make v square as the subject of the equation. So what you get is v square is equal to rg into tan theta plus mu s divided by 1 minus mu s tan theta. So this is the expression for V square. Now we have to get V max. So V max is equal to, so this anyway we have gone for the maximum value of static friction. So what you get is the maximum speed. V max is equal to root of the whole thing raised to half. So Rg into 1 tan theta plus mu s divided by 1 minus mu s tan theta whole raised to half. So this is the expression for the maximum speed with which a car can describe a circular path when it is moving along a banked road. So you can see the equation is obvious. So in the, when you make a comparison between Vmax on a level road and Vmax on a bank road, the Vmax has got an additional term. Earlier it was mu s rg whole raised to half. Now we have got an additional term which depends upon the angle of banking, and it has some value of coefficient of static friction, and also anyway you can see that it gets raised to a particular value, and we can have an extra value for additional speed for moving without skidding along a circular road if it is banked, or maximum speed, safe speed with which a car can negotiate a circular path if it is banked. So this is the expression. Now let us find out the optimum speed. The case of optimum speed can be found out that we consider the case of minimum friction. That is, let us find out if there is an expression for speed of the same car which is moving along the same circular path of radius r, to minimize, that is, if the car moves at this particular speed, there is minimal wear and tear for the tires. So what is the condition for minimal wear and tear? We know that we cannot eliminate the case of friction here, but we can make it approximately equal to 0. So let us put mu s is equal to 0 in the expression for the maximum speed. So we have V max is equal to Rg into, we have the expression is tan theta plus mu s. So it will be tan theta itself, and the denominator completely goes to 0 because we have 1 minus mu as tan theta. So it is only divided by 1. So V max is equal to Rg tan theta whole raised to half. So this is known as the optimum speed with which if a car moves at this speed, it causes minimal wear and tear, or the wear and tear can be reduced to a minimum. So this is known as the safe speed or the optimum speed with which a car can move, and the expression is given by VO is equal to optimum. VO is equal to Rg tan theta whole raised to half. From this we can also find out an expression for tan theta, that is the angle of banking. That is, by squaring both sides, we can have VO square divided by RG. That is, the angle of banking should be equal to VO square divided by RG for this case. So these are the things we have seen, that in the case of a car which moves on a level road and a banked road, we can see that the optimum speed can be the safe speed, the maximum speed can be increased if the road is banked, that is the outer surface, outer edge of the road is raised with respect to the inner edge. And also we have got an expression for the optimum speed for minimal wear and tear for the condition. So the basic idea behind this derivation is that in the first case, if it is the frictional, only the frictional force which is supporting or providing the necessary centripetal force, so that the car doesn't skid off while negotiating a circular path, that is, it has to move with that particular speed in order to go without skidding. Then in this case, it has risen to a particular value due to the fact that there is some additional factor of force or component of force which supports the which provides the necessary centripetal force. A similar situation is bending of a cyclist. That is, when a cyclist, you must have noticed that when a cyclist or a motorist is moving with a particular velocity along a curved road, in that case, you might have noticed that the person leans inward to at a particular angle with respect to the vertical. The reason for the person to lean inward is due to the fact that in this case also, when if he tries to describe this circular path of a certain radius with a certain moving with a certain velocity, if he moves vertically, or if he is actually moving vertical to the surface, it can be noted that the frictional force is not sufficient to provide the necessary centripetal force. So what he does is he shifts his body at a certain angle with respect to the vertical, so that now the normal component, or the component of the normal force now adds up to the frictional force to provide the necessary centripetal force. So bending of